Hey YouTubers, it's Tony with Mayberry Mini Trucks. Today is Saturday, September 9th, 2023. And we have a video for John in Minnesota. So let's see, is John a long distance customer? For sure. So John is a long distance customer, which means that it is now incumbent upon us to communicate effectively. So John probably, I'm kind of guessing here, but he probably saw the very first video when it came off the boat, and then he called and said, "Hey, what about that truck?" Or this is most likely the way it happened. And then we saw the truck, did an audio description, walk around describing it, took pictures of the truck, and then sent them to him. And he's like, yeah, everything's looking good, right? And so this is the natural progression of effective communication. And then he said, okay, I like what I see. And then we say, well, wait, there's one more thing we want to do, and that's this video. This video is the icing on the cake. Because if John lives in Minnesota and he hasn't seen the truck, how does he get the confidence to buy the truck? Well, there's only one way, right? There's two ways. Either come here in person, right? Obviously. But if you can't come here in person because you live in Minnesota, then the other way is for us to effectively communicate. And that's what this is. We have done this so many times. I mean, I've owned 6,000 mini trucks. The majority of our sales are long distance, so we've probably done it 4,000 times. Just rough percentages there, you know. So we've probably done it, 4,000 times, and we've never had anybody say, "Oh, I don't like that," right? Because we go through very careful communication, and it's always worked. And so for the last few videos, I've kind of came up with this thought. People just like to be treated fairly. That's the answer. That's the secret, right? Go figure. What's your secret? How do you do 4,000 long distance sales and never have one fail? By treating people fairly. But that means a lot on us, right? We have to go through a lot of effort, but we're good with that. So this is a 1995 Suzuki Carry 4x4 5-speed with extra low first gear, and it has 27,424 miles. Really nice, low mileage truck. So let's check out this 95 Suzuki Carry 5-speed for John in Minnesota. Notice how I said Minnesota. All right, there we go. Now this antenna really should be down. Sometimes they're just stuck in perma position because they haven't been moved forever, but this one does move. So, okay, so that's where it needs to be. So it doesn't get hooked on a branch and snap. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to look for damage. Okay, so right off the bat, I see a nice, brilliant luster on that lens. That's, like number one right there, is a good, yeah, see there's dirt specks on here. Try to get all that off. It's actually loaded with dirt specks. But these are like pencil points of surface rust or a rock chip, like ding. All right, so we are now looking for damage. We see one ding right there. That's it. Just one extremely slight ding. And I would be surprised if you guys could even see that. I'm doing my best to reveal it, but that's it. Now, the door panel. This is actually a water droplet. That's a water droplet. A ding right there. Actually, a scratch that they touched up. There's a scratch there and a scratch there that they touched up. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful door. Now, Okay, yep. I kind of knew there'd be this blue dot here because the wheel just looks so absolutely stunning. You can't, even though the dot was hidden, I knew it was around here somewhere because when a wheel looks that good with all that beautiful factory paint, you know that blue water-based paint dot is there. And over time, that paint dot gets worn off because of the sand on the highway. You know, it just gets sandblasted off. But when that paint dot is still present, especially that nicely, that's a really good sign. And it is coinciding. It's in agreement with the luster on that lens cover. Now, let's look underneath here in this wheel housing. That is beautiful. Now we do have some dings on this bedside panel. They're dings from the inside out. So we have a ding here, 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 and then here, and then a ding from the outside in here and here. Now we're going to look underneath, and we have seam rust. Seam rust is very common. That's where the frame was spot welded together, high carbon content, very typical for rust to occur there. This is the bottom side of the bed. That's pretty interesting to have a fastener with that kind of gold patina on it. That gold patina is another one of those good signs. Really nice under here. Good looking undercarriage. There's that blue dot again. Now let's look at the bed. Aha! What a beautiful bed. Look at the gold patina on this Japanese hardware. That is another telltale sign of a fresh truck. Look at the condition of the bed. So everything here is coming together, guys. This is a nice truck. This is a nice truck. I mean, just one thing after another just reach right out and grab you. Now it does have some scratches and with touch-up paint. It's got its little bumps and bruises. But you can see that the truck has it's a very fresh truck, and I don't remember what the miles are, but I guarantee they're low. This is my 8th truck I videoed today, so it's all a big blur. This is glue to hold down this tailgate rail cap. So it's got scratches, all touched up. The plastic looks good. Your spare tire's always behind there on a Suzuki Carry. And now for the passenger bedside panel, it looks remarkably good. So that looks beautiful. Just some slight, it's some slight, maybe, I don't know if that's even dents or dings, but there's just some really slight, I can't even feel them. I cannot feel them, but when you get the angle just right, I think it's like a factory assembly thing. So I am being overly picky. I've just got to step off that high horse and say it's a beautiful bedside. I mean, that's my nature, is to be overzealous in my evaluation. And that's that communication. That's why it always works out, because I go way, way, way overboard. And then they see it and they're like, oh, I mean, I hear it all the time. Oh, that's much nicer than I thought it would be. Because I go overboard and I overdo the description. And then when they see it, they're like, man, that's nice. You know, because if you listen to just my words, you'd think, what a piece of junk. But when you look at it, it's like, wow, that actually looks pretty nice. Now, it does have some damage on this side. It's got a big gob of touch-up paint on a scratch, so a little bit overdoing it there, and then a dent there that was touched up. Nice. Let's look at the inside of the door. Coming down, looking very, very clean, very tidy. Here's the bottom of the door panel. Looking good. Now let's look under the floor mat. I'm going to get your thumb under that snap so you don't rip the plastic off. Beautiful. Man, is that nice. That's what you want to see right there. Beautiful, beautiful seat. Man, is that nice. Ooh, I just trapped a wasp in there. I think he flew back out. Okay, so now coming down the door panel, we got a pick here and here. Other than that, it's a beautiful door panel. Here's the underside of the door. Looking really good. Now let's look under the floor mat on here. There we go. Okay, so we can see that looks really good under there, but that floor mat's been, it's been worn where the heel of the driver goes for the clutch pedal and then for the gas pedal. That's your brake fluid. All right, so we want to put this in two-wheel drive. If you put that in two-wheel drive before you start the truck, your axle lock light will not be on. So let me illustrate that. We're back in four-wheel, now we're back in four-wheel drive, your axle lock light is on. So when we put this back in two-wheel drive, your axle lock light stays on. And then you have to play with it to get it to shut off. But the secret to bypassing that one extra step is we've now shut the truck off, is to put it in two-wheel drive first, and now when you start the truck, you won't have an axle lock light on. News you can use? Barely. Almost useless, but hey, I've got that information. There you go. Now we're going to take it for a drive, and again, we are in two-wheel drive, and the reason that's so important is because you don't want to drive a mini truck on the hardtop in four-wheel drive. It's bad for the drivetrain. Okay, so now we're going to take this on a road test, and we're going to see what the power is like coming up the hill. But first, going down the hill, we're going to see what it's like at a higher rate of speed. So we're already going 55 miles per hour. So now we get to test the brakes. Right? Thank God the brakes work good. And now we'll shut the window so we don't have too much road noise. And once we get around this turn, I'm going to get a little more gas. Boy, this thing has good power. So that's 60 miles per hour. Runs really, really well. Super strong. Nice power. It accelerates very handily down that hill. And again, I've said it before in other videos. You can kind of, hey, look, they're dumping squash. Isn't that cool? They're dumping squash He's stuck. He's spinning. But look at all the squash he's dumping. Isn't that cool? So wanting to, uh, if you were wanting to have a jack-o'-lantern, this is the place to come. Check this out. He's gonna dump it now. Look at that. That is millions of jack-o'-lanterns, decorative jack-o'-lanterns, guys. All beautiful. So unbelievable. Those are your highly decorative squash and gourds. And this is where they all get dumped because they can't sell them all at Walmart. This gentleman has a contract with Walmart and Lowe's Hardware. But this is where they all get dumped. And and of course, we have a absolute cornucopia plethora, multiflorist choice of decorative squash every year. So many or so much so that we've kind of become a little anesthetized to having such a huge array to choose from. But yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. So more interesting stuff on the Mayberry Mini Trucks YouTube channel. Not really, but so we're in fifth gear going up this hill, and now we're going to slow down quite a bit for this turn. And this is a 90-degree turn, and notice we're going like super slow here. 30 kilometers, just a little above 30 kilometers per hour. So we're probably going 21 miles per hour, but we're in fifth gear going up a steep hill. And look at what's happening. We are accelerating up that hill. Well, that is a very good sign. That means we have excellent horsepower because we have excellent compression. And that's because it's such a low mileage truck. So, excellent outcome. The truck has fabulous horsepower, remarkable performance up this hill. And with that, I will say, what a successful test drive. It just bounded up that hill after we saw the dumping of our hundreds and hundreds of thousands of decorative squash. And that was so cool. I know it seems insignificant, but there's still some of that 12-year-old kid left in me who sees something like that, and you're just like, wow, that is amazing. Because now we can go down there and just get all the beautiful squash we want. Hey, we can put them on display right here at our street sign, and we plant a little flower bed there at Snow Lane. That's how you know you're here, right there, that street sign right there. Those are usually beautiful flowers, but we can put decorative squash there. And you know what the cost is on that? Zero. All right, so let's get back to business. We got the law passed, making mini trucks street legal. Governor Cooper signed our bill into law, so we will give you a title. There's no extra charges. Everything is included in the sale price of the vehicle. So if it says, hey, this truck is $8,400, that includes everything. The synthetic oil change, the new air filter, the new oil filter, all the fluid check, the test drive, fixing anything that was wrong, the engine power, the engine idle, the four-wheel drive, any of that got repaired before we make it available for sale. And there are no extra charges, so that's all you pay. The only extra fees would be as if you bought air filters, which is very important because the air filter is of paramount importance. So after 5,000 or 6,000 kilometers, you want to check your oil occasionally, but when it's time to change your oil, you change your oil. You can buy your oil filter locally, but the air filter you buy from us or on eBay. You can get them on eBay, but it's the cheapest from us, I believe, $20 a piece, and there's no shipping. We put it on the front seat when we bring you the truck. That's how you service it. Oil filter, air filter, and occasionally, your plugs, your wires, your cap, and your rotor, and your fuel filter. So that's a tune-up there, but a service is the first thing, the oil filter, and air filter. And so occasionally you'll need a tune-up, and you'll know it's, hey, my truck runs rough. What do I do? Well, you give it a tune-up. It's same as any other vehicle, only easier on a mini truck. Very easy to get to. People wonder, are these hard to work on? No, they're not. They're not. There's always a way to get to the things you need to get to. The Japanese make sure that you can access the important parts of the truck. And what else? There was one other thing. Oh, please subscribe to our channel. Would you please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit notification? That helps us with our search analytics, and it helps you because then you become apprised as to when we post a video. It may be an individual video such as this, or it might be, hey, they just got a shipment in. Let's see what they just got in. And we deliver. We charge $2 per mile one way. Did I give you our phone number? I don't think so. Our phone number is 336-777-9957. Our email address is sales@mayberryminitrucks.com. And our website is mayberryminitrucks.com. And we've never had anybody disappointed when we show up. Oh, this is the last thing. So if let's say that John in Minnesota says, "Hey, I like that truck. I'll take it." Then he only puts down a deposit equal to the delivery fee. That's it. Then we deliver the truck, and when we show up, it's only until then that he pays for the truck. He doesn't pay for it up front. We never do that. We've done it thousands of times this way, and we have a 100% successful track record. We've never had anybody say, hey, I'm not happy with that. That's never happened because we go through such effective communication. So with that, I will leave you and thank you for watching our video.